that fucking cool? All right, guys, today we've got a pretty cool video planned for you guys. We're not actually going to be working on my car, but we've got a lot of cool stuff planned. Before we get into that, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all of you guys. I appreciate you guys watching every video, and honestly, like, the channel's been growing quite a bit lately, and I just wanted to say thanks. You guys are the shit. Honestly, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, the astute of you may have noticed that we have a little bit of a settings change. You can see this is a new place for the channel. It has been in a couple thumbnails and a couple of Instagram posts. That being said, I haven't really said anything about it on the channel. But today we're introducing it in all its glory, because this is the channel's new home. We've got Matt's car in here, we got my RX-7, and we got the IS in here. So a lot of big things are happening right now. We've got a lot of projects going on, but I'll show you guys around the shop a little bit. I know that a lot of you guys have been wanting updates on Matt's car. Believe me, those are coming. We just, we're in the middle of a couple little mods to it right now, and after that, those videos will be coming out. So right over here, we've got my workstation. We've got my toolbox with all of my tools from home. Then we've got the 2-post lift, which Matt's car is currently under right now. We've got a lot of stuff going on right now with it. It's actually in the middle of a little bit of a stereo install. I'll let you guys see a little sneak peek of it. But super stoked for that. It's gonna be super cool once it's done. This is, of course, my beautiful FCR RX-7. Girl's gonna get some love here pretty soon. As you guys can see, we got the engine stand. We've got a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool parts over here on all these racks. You guys will see a lot of that later. Of course, we've got my buddy's cars up here. I wish I could say they were mine, but I don't have pockets that deep. I'll show you guys upstairs though. Before we get there, of course, we got the little gym set up so we can get our pump on while we're pulling some late all-nighters at the shop. But upstairs is one of the coolest parts. So as you guys can see, this is my little workstation right here. This is where all of the new videos are going to be edited from now on. And we got all kinds of stuff. We got nice couches over here. We got an N64 over there. I know Matt's excited about it.
Oh, there's an N64 here? Yeah. Fuck my whole butt, dude.
Honestly, it's just going to be a super cool place for all of our friends to come get together and work on crazy Japanese cars, you know? I'm never going to get tired of that, dude. That's so sick. This is the shop. I'm so stoked. I hope you guys are too. This is going to mean that the channel is going to get a lot cooler content. I'm not going to lie, because now we have a space to do stuff that we honestly couldn't do just in my garage. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, and I'll just give you guys this view because this is surreal. Honestly, it's surreal. It feels like I'm in Tokyo Drift right now, because I can just look out over the balcony, see 2 R34s, a nice little Sentra, an IS. Oh my god, this place is heaven. Guys, this place is heaven. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut the intro there. We're gonna get in the video. This one's actually from a little while ago. You guys will see the shop isn't nearly as full as it is now. Hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What is going on, guys? So we are back in Washington now, and today we're actually going to be going to pick something up from the post office. But we're not taking my car back there. We're taking this thing. This is one of my friend's cars. Her name's Maritza. She drives this nice Aqua IS300, but it's been having some issues. So we're going to try to figure out what's wrong with it. So she developed a bit of a misfire on the freeway, and it ended up tossing a flashing check engine light, which means that it was pretty bad misfire. So we're gonna try to figure that out today. Also, the problem here, something's dragging pretty hard underneath. Okay, so I'm probably not gonna drive it to lunch, because that's pretty bad. So I'm just gonna end up going to lunch in my IS, because I don't want to do more damage to that thing. I'll show you guys the two together. She is dirt nasty low, guys. I'm not gonna lie, she is dirt nasty low. Oh, my battery's dying so hard. Damn, dude, the post office is popping. All right, let's go inside. Let's get our package. Well, it's a big old box, boys, and it's got a bunch of writing, and it's all in Japanese. So, it's gonna be some cool shit. Packaged very well, which is good because this was quite expensive. Can you tell why I was stoked? Can you tell why I was stoked yet? Oh boys, I'm so excited about this. This, for those of you that don't know, is a brand new rotor housing. It's a brand new, from Mazda, rotor housing for an FC Turbo 2. And that's gonna be part of my new engine, which I'm super stoked for, and you guys don't actually know anything about. So I'm gonna explain a little bit about this a little bit later, but yeah, I'm hella stoked about these. All right, well this whole thing is a little chooched, a little bit of an oil leak there. Well, skid plate's coming off pretty bad. This guy completely folded up on itself, and it looks like it's melting itself to the exhaust, so that's not great. I'm probably gonna remove both of these guys just to get the car driving, and then probably drive it around, see if I can get it to misfire at all, which I don't hope I'm going to be able to do, but I'm not really quite sure. But if we can duplicate a misfire, then we can diagnose a misfire. So I'm going to go ahead and get these taken off and drive it around. You think that is chooched?
Oh yeah.
It's chooched, huh? Dude, look at how much is left on.
Oh damn, well, that came off pretty easy, but yeah, it's still all on the fucking exhaust.
Yeah, that's all, that's fun. It's gonna be a nice smelling car for a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. It's gonna point up
So
at the
we're
sky.
gonna roast it a little bit right here, Marissa, but I gotta do it. Matt, check this out.
Fuck. That's a wood screw. Dude, this looks like, oh dear.
Yeah, it's Bondo glass. It's Bondo glass and a literal cup. They cut the bottom off of it.
Yeah.
They cut the bottom off of it now, but like legit, like before there was a bottom to that cup.
You
It looks great. It looks great, Maritza. You're doing great. The oil leaks look delicious. This is the cleanest 2JZ I've ever seen in my life.
Pretty good transpan too. It's not great. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean that's probably from the valve covers too. But yeah, I'd say you got your rust protection going pretty well right now. All right, so we got both of the skid plates off. I got the car on the ground. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in the computer, see if I can figure out why it's misfiring. I haven't been able to actually duplicate it, so we'll see if it doesn't, but I'm probably going to drive it home because it doesn't happen very often. All right, we got the tech stream. So we're going to go in and do a little health check on it first, just to see if any codes pop up. Okay, so we got a P0304 pending. So that means a cylinder 4 misfire. But it's only in pending, so it's not actually a hard code yet. So that's why we have no check engine light on still. So for me to figure out why it's misfiring, I'm gonna have to make it misfire so that I can actually see what's going on. So I've got my data list pulled up, and these counters right here are gonna show us whether or not we have any misfires present. You guys can see cylinder 1 through 6 misfire counts. Over here we're gonna have our O2 sensor signals and our fuel trims to see if maybe it's a fuel issue or something like that, see what the computer's seeing there. We got MAF, engine speed, all that kind of stuff on here. But at this point we're basically just gonna drive it. I'm gonna record some logs just to see if there's anything weird going on with it. I don't really know how to get it to misfire, but we'll see if we can do it. Also, if you guys saw one of my last videos, you can see one of our LEDs is probably in the wrong polarity, so we'll probably fix that for her since it's here. So far we got nothing. We're on the freeway right now and she seems to be doing all right. I mean, I don't hear anything strange. It's not shuddering at all. Feels normal. So I'm probably gonna have to drive it quite a bit. Look at that little cat on the side of the road. Oh, little guy. Hey, little guy. Oh, that didn't look like an alley cat. That looked like a really clean cat. Poor little guy. Well, boys, we haven't gotten any misfires yet, so I don't know what it is. So I've been driving this thing around for a good amount of time. Have not been able to get any sort of misfire to happen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some stuff out of my IS then we will be driving Maritza's car home, and hopefully at some point it's gonna misfire and we'll catch it and see what's causing it. But unfortunately at this point I haven't been able to duplicate anything. But boy do they look good together. Look at that. Okay. That's our whip for the day, boys. Alright, so it's day 2. I'm about to leave for work. We're still trying to figure out what's going on with this thing. Got my TechStream light cable. Gonna go ahead and plug it into my laptop and see if we can get any misfires on the way in, on lunch, or even after, so we'll see. Nothing yet. So the code went away by itself, so now we don't have any codes. DTC monitors are complete. It's not even registering that there ever was a misfire. So that's cool. Alright, let's get on our way. I don't think it's gonna misfire at all, if I'm being honest. And it's really annoying because if it doesn't misfire, I can't diagnose a misfire. I pulled out a spark plug last time and it wasn't like too bad. It could have been replaced, but like I don't think that it would have been causing a misfire. It could be her plug wires. Her plug wires are probably factory, so those are probably pretty old. We are going to replace those when we do all the oil leaks and everything. I did also see that the connectors for her coils were pretty messed up. The connectors on those coils are just super cheap plastic, so when they get old, they get super brittle. So like when you're replacing spark plugs, a lot of times on the high mileage ones, they'll just break. And whoever did the spark plugs on this last broke a bunch of them and didn't bother to replace any. So I think I'm gonna go in and replace the connectors, and hopefully that's what it is. It's just like a loose connection that every once in a while it just kind of like loses connection and it causes a fat misfire. I'm hoping that's what it is, but it's so weird that it's such an intermittent, just crazy bad misfire apparently. Because like for it to throw a flashing check engine light, it's got to be a pretty good misfire. And misfires like that don't just go away unless it's something just unplugged. So I'm hoping it's a coil connector, and that'll just be something easy to throw at it. We'll probably just get all of that stuff put in it, and hopefully that'll fix it, but I don't know. So this is Irvin from the future. We never actually ended up finding out what was causing that misfire. I still think that it had something to do with the coil connectors, but we never got it to happen again, so can't really know. But if you guys are trying to diagnose a misfire, I'll tell you guys how I usually go about it. So normally I try to start out with pretty much the easiest stuff first. So spark plugs and coils are usually the most common things to go out on IS300s. So if you guys want to try to diagnose that, I suggest that you guys get a nice little code reader that'll tell you which cylinder is actually misfiring. So first step, what I usually do is I'll pull whatever cylinder is misfiring. I'll take that spark plug out and swap it with another spark plug. So this is instantly going to tell you whether or not the misfire is caused by the spark plug or not, because you'll get the misfire to move from whatever cylinder it started at to whatever cylinder it moved to. So if the misfire doesn't follow the spark plug, then I usually like to do the same thing with the coil. I'll swap it with another one and see if the coil is good. Now if that still doesn't give us any results, I'll go ahead and go to the fuel injectors. I'll do the same thing with those. Now this is all just for single cylinder misfire. If it's a multiple cylinder misfire, random cylinder misfire, that's a whole different story. We'll get into that another day. Now at this point, if it's not a fuel injector, we're not necessarily in the best spot. So we're gonna need to remember the 3 basic things that every engine needs to run. We've got fuel, we've got spark, and we've got compression. Now, we've checked the fuel and the spark, but we don't know if compression's good. If there is something actually wrong and it's a hard misfire that you're getting, and you've checked spark and checked ignition, then the next thing that I would move on to is checking compression. At that point, if you have low compression, you can add oil into the cylinder and that'll seal the rings back up. If that boosts the compression up, then you know it's a lower end problem. If that doesn't change compression at all, it's likely something in the head. Now, if it is something in the head, we move on to our next test. So you guys are starting to see a little bit of pattern coming up because we're just escalating our test from easiest to do to hardest to do. So basically, I don't like to replace anything unless I know it actually needs to be replaced. I know a lot of people that will just throw parts at stuff, and I just think that it's not a very good way to go about it, because then you can never be sure that you're actually going to fix it. Now, as a dealership tech, like, this is what we're trained for, you know, like, we're not supposed to let cars leave and come back because that looks bad on us. So this is kind of just how I've adopted this into, like, working on any cars, you know. I try to find the root cause of the issue so that I can make sure that when I fix whatever is wrong with it, that it's actually going to fix it. So at that point, if compression doesn't get a little boost from adding oil into the cylinder, we're going to have to move on to a cylinder leak down test. This is going to tell us basically where we're losing compression. It'll tell us whether we're losing it from the rings, the head gasket, the valves, if there's a crack somewhere. This will pretty much show us where the leak's coming from. That's a little more of an in-depth process. If you guys actually want an in-depth video and like have me show you how to do all these tests, just let me know in the comments. I don't know if that's something that you guys want to see or not. So I ended up never actually finding out why Maritza's car was misfiring. She brought it back and we ended up fixing a lot of oil leaks. You guys will see that video next week likely. While we were in there, we replaced spark plugs, we replaced the wires because those were actually original from when the car was actually first manufactured, and we replaced those coil connectors because they were just completely crunchy and not salvageable. I'm like 95% sure it was those coil connectors that was causing it, but you know, you can never know. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video. If you guys do want a very in-depth how-to on, you know, like diagnosing a misfire, I can always do that. I just don't know how much of a need there is for it. I don't know if you guys want to see that kind of stuff, but let me know in the comments. With that being said, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you guys later.